Good morning, dear students. Today we will see the various classifications that we have discussed in the last video. We have seen that thermochemical, photochemical and reactions involving electricity are the three types of classifications of chemical reactions with respect to the energy parameters. So first we come to the thermochemical reactions. Now thermochemical reactions are those reactions which take place by releasing or absorbing the heat. Just taking a very simple example, slaking of lime, or when you see lime, quick lime, there is tuna. When it is just dissolved in water, a chemical reaction takes place, which is obviously chemical dissolution. With a hissing sound, you find that calcium hydroxide has been produced, and if you touch the vessel, you find it is getting hot. So heat has been released. Again, in some reactions, heat is absorbed. Now these reactions are called thermochemical reactions. Now what is photochemical reaction? Chemical reaction which involves the factor of light. That means the reaction will take place only in presence of light is known as photochemical reactions. Now coming to the examples of photochemical reaction, very simple. If you just think about the olden days, obviously our times when we were the kids, rather to say, there were black and white camera. Now those camera reels, if you see how the black and white photography was available. In the reel, they used to have either silver chloride or silver bromide. In presence of sunlight or any sort of light, rather to say light, removing the word sun, because any light can do this job, you get Ag plus Cl2, Ag plus Br2. Now how it happens in the camera? There was a shutter, the shutter used to open, light used to come in, and accordingly, due to the light and the darkness effect, the photo has been framed. Just balancing the equation, put a 2 here, put a 2 here, 2, 2, it is balanced. It is solid, these are gases, and these are again solids. So these are the examples of photochemical reactions. For the sake of your exam, do keep these equations in your heart, because you may get one of the examples in the exam. I hope so you may get this in this year, because for a long time they are not asking these things, right? Now thermochemical reaction. There are two types of thermochemical reaction. One is endothermic reaction, other is exothermic reaction. What is an endothermic reaction? Endo means inside, exo means outside. Exos is a Latin word and endos is also a Latin word. Now endothermic, heat inside, exothermic, heat outside. So what is endothermic and what is exothermic? So endothermic reactions are those reactions which absorbs heat. How will you understand? When a substance is absorbing heat, it will appear colder. It appears to be cold. The system will become colder. And exothermic reaction is the reaction which releases heat. It releases the heat. So it appears to be hotter. So the last example that I have given in the beginning, that is using just dissolving the quick lime in water and slaking of lime, you are getting the slaked lime, heat has been released. So it is an example of exothermic reaction. Now endothermic reaction and exothermic reaction, I am just coming in thermochemical case. Thermochemical reactions, right? Now in this case, first is endothermic reaction. Coming to an example. Best example you find in the nature. It is associated with your biology. It is also associated with the function of chlorophyll. Actually what takes place in the thylakoid membrane. I am not going into the biological fact, just coming to the chemistry matter. So in endothermic reaction, best example is photosynthesis. Writing the equation, 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O. You need sunlight, You also need chlorophyll. You get C6H12O6. This is glucose. You get 6 molecule of oxygen. You get 6 molecule of water. This is liquid. This is gas. This is aqueous. This is liquid. This is gas. See, in this reaction heat is accepted, heat is required. Now you may ask, why chlorophyll is required? Why can't we do it in the lab? Yes, you can do it in the lab by making artificial chlorophyll, but the reaction will not be as it is. The reason is that now this chlorophyll, it is actually known as chemical compulsant. What is chemical compulsant? It has nothing to do with the reaction. It is not taking part in the reaction. It is not directing the reaction. It is doing nothing. But the reaction will stop if you remove this. It is a necessary parameter, energy parameter, as explained. So the significance of chlorophyll is that it is chemical compulsant. Now this reaction is also a chemical double decomposition reaction. See, 2 here and 3 here. Now a question may come, water is here, water is also here. I can simply strike off this and make it 6. It is balanced. But that is not the reaction you are getting in the nature. In nature you get this reaction only. Now question may come, what is the significance of this water in the product side? This water is known as metabolic water. Now the significance is that this water will dissolve this glucose and make a glucose solution and transport through the phloem throughout every part of the plant. Because just think from your common sense, you will never see that a man is, if a woodcutter is just chopping off the tree or plant, you will never find that glucose is just coming like a dust. It will never come like dust. This is the way. So this is actually endothermic. Now second is the exothermic, what I have said, that is an example. I will also, now here I will give a biological example. It is respiration. Exothermic reaction. Right. In exothermic reaction, what happens? You take glucose C6H12O6. You take 6 molecule of O2. This is gas. This is aqueous. This decomposes, and you get 6 molecule of CO2 and you get 6 molecule of H2O, plus you get some amount of heat. Triangle means heat. See, heat has been released. So it is exothermic in nature. Now these two examples are biochemical examples. Just keep these equations in your mind. Very important for your exam. You should just memorize this. So thermochemical is over. Now last is reactions involving electricity. There are two types, electrolytic and electrochemical. I will speak about the electrochemical reaction and not about the electrolytic reaction, since it is not in the board exam. This is because, just coming to the points. Electrochemical reaction is a reaction which is a spontaneous chemical reaction. Very slowly it is occurring, and from this chemical equation electricity is being generated. That means you can generate electricity. Whatever cell you use or battery you are using, it is basically the application of electrochemical reaction. Now in electrolytic equation, what happens? The non-spontaneous reactions, the reaction that don't tend to occur but forcefully you want to conduct the reaction, you need high amount of electricity to be passed through the system, and in such a case the reaction is suddenly occurring at a rapid pace. These are very less reactions, although they also have their own applications. For example, if you take the secondary cell or the lead cell or lead accumulator, in charging the cell we use electrolytic reactions, while in the normal discharging it is the electrochemical reactions.